Hello everyone! Welcome back to another video on my lovely YouTube channel. I am on sort of a different screen this time around. I'm on the title screen, and I'm greeted with ingots. That's weird, but I'm on the title screen, which is a little weird for my YouTube channel. Well, I'm on the title screen because in today's video, this will be the start of a new tutorial series that I will show you how I make my maps for the marketplace and for just other places. If I ever make a map, I sometimes will keep it to myself, or I make it for the marketplace. In today's video, I'll show you the way I make my maps and how you can set up your area to make your own maps. So I thought this was a great idea to do a tutorial on, just showing you guys the step-by-step of how I make my maps. So I will be making a series, this is the first of the series, on making a map. So I'm just gonna come up with a concept and make a map for you guys, and I hope this series interests you guys. I hope this helps you guys make your own maps and understand them better. I don't like to interrupt the intros at all, but I have been growing a bigger community, and I'm glad to say thank you. It really helps me that you guys are subscribing, liking these videos, and going to the Discord. People have been on the Discord active. I actually got the idea of this from a new person. His name is Remen. I think that's how you pronounce his name. But he's been asking all these questions on how to make a adventure map and what's the best way. And it popped up in my head, maybe I should do a full series on how to make a map, or how I make my maps. Everybody makes theirs differently, but I make mine my own unique way. So I thought it would be a great idea to show you guys how to make a map. Let's get straight into the video. Why don't we? Here I am on the Worlds tab of the play button. If you go ahead and click here, create a new world, let's start with a new world, why don't we? We're going to call this a new map. There you go. Then the settings I usually use are I set default game mode to creative for now. That's just for now. You guys can always change it, and that does require achievements to be off. Difficulty, whatever you guys feel like. If you guys don't want any bad mobs, maybe turn it to peaceful. I always have my maps on normal. And then down here we have world type, infinite. I use Superflat. That's my preferred method. And if I'm going to make a map, I always build off of a Superflat. Right here, simulated distance. We're going to turn that up. I just personally turn it up. If you guys want to turn it down, whatever. It doesn't really matter. I don't really touch it. I just prefer to turn it up because it kind of bothers me. Show coordinates, always turn that on. You're going to need it when starting a map. And these two I turn off so there's no grafing. Keep scrolling down. Immediate respawn, if you guys want to turn that on for your map. That depends on the map you're making. I don't really touch it unless I'm making a map that requires it. Always day. Keep inventory. Mob spawning and mob griefing off. Weather cycle off. Okay. That seems about right. I highly recommend not touching random tick speed. If you do, don't make it too high. It will cause lag on your world. I hope you guys know that. I have been to worlds where these people make the world random tick speed like super high. It will lag the world. I just want to say. And for this tutorial, I'm going to turn off multiplayer. That's just for me. Just in case if somebody joins, interrupts the world. And feel free to create it. So, now we're in the loading screen. I'll get right back to you. Okay, now that I loaded up my world, You can see it's super flat, and there's actually chunks over there loading, and over there's some chunks loading. And now you have a nice world and template to start out with. You have positioning up in the top left, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Now that you have your template ready to go, let's go ahead and give ourselves a command block, the main source. I love giving myself a command block from the start. Now that you have a command block, let's go ahead and come up with an idea for your map. So let's think here. What type of map do I want to create? How about let's make a snake map? I've seen a snake map on a few websites that I've been to. There was a snake map that they made. Let's go ahead and make a snake map. If you've ever played Snake Game, or it's just a snake and you eat these apples that are lying around, and when you eat them, you grow. Your tail grows. It seems pretty simple, but I hope you guys understand it's not so simple with commands. So this is going to be pretty complex once I get into the command block work, but other than that, it's going to be pretty simple to set up your command blocks in. So as you could see, when I gave myself a command block, it showed command block output. I always turn command block output off from the get-go, but I highly recommend to keep send command feedback on true. So keep that true. You don't have to type that in. It's already set to true, but keep that true. That will tell you in chat when you execute a command, but you want to turn that off after you finish making your map. So let's get straight into it. Now you're gonna need a command block area. So I personally like to TP out pretty far. Do not fly out because you don't want to render too many chunks. If you render chunks, it can cause lag, it can cause bigger worlds, so your world could be up to like 100 megabytes. Well, that's okay, but anywhere above like a gigabyte, that would be insane. But you don't want your world to be too big in size, and you don't want to cause any lag for worse devices, anything like that. So we're going to TP, or teleport, out. So we're going to teleport, let's do 1,000 blocks, and do 4 so I don't spawn in the ground. 1,000 blocks by 1,000 blocks. So that will teleport me to 1,000 for 1,000. So let's go ahead and go over there. Now I'm loading in some new chunks. And let's go ahead and slash ticking area and add a ticking area. So this is number one. I have noticed that I've joined worlds where people have tons of ticking areas. You only really need one. Don't use so many ticking areas that it fills up the world. Because unless you need a second one, you only really need one chunk loaded in your entire world. And that one chunk will be responsible for the commands. So I'm going to go ahead and do 3 tildes and then space 3 tildes. That will only pick one chunk. That will cause one chunk, whatever chunk you're standing on, to be set to a ticking area. And then we're going to go ahead and just name it whatever you want. I'm going to name it commands. So now that you have your ticking area, you can see the coordinates in the top left of where it highlighted it. So we're going to go to 992 on each. So we're going to find where we need to go. Okay, I'm apparently going to the positives. So 1007. So right here, I'm on 1007. Right here. So this is from here somewhere's over to 992 right here. So this from here to there will be our chunk. So we're going to go ahead and set a block here, and we're going to slash fill, and then the coordinates that it's showing you. And then we're going to go over here. I pressed enter to save it. And and we're going to place one here, and we're going to type the same coordinates that it's showing me, and then we're going to fill it with air. So this is our chunk that we're allowed to use for commands. I like to decorate it a little bit, so maybe you want to do the same fill command, set this 3 to a 0, which will be Y0, and then let's do some iron blocks. I like iron blocks, I think they look nice, so and I spawned in the ground. But as you can see, now we have a nice little area for our command blocks. And this will be where all your gameplay is held. That's how I do it. I always do it in one chunk, and this can go all the way up to the world height. So try not to load too many chunks outwards. Let's get started with our game. Well, I like to get my game started with a nice little spawn area if needed, depending on the idea. So, since we're going to be making a snake game, we're going to go back to 0, which is going to be our spawn area. And they always will face, I'm pretty sure, this direction, which is, if you look at the top left of my positioning, if you go forward, that last coordinate will go +1 every time you move forward. They'll always face in that direction. So I'm pretty sure it's that direction. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. It doesn't really matter. But we're going to go ahead and place a gold block here to mark the spawn. And let's go ahead and build a spawn platform. I'm not too good at building, but let's go ahead and build a simple spawn platform. Okay, as you can see, I finished up the building. It's pretty simplistic. I wasn't too good, and I didn't finish the roof, of course, because you want it to be easy to access until you're finished with the map. Anyway, we got a nice little spawn. I think it looks cool. I think I'm going to go for this pattern on the game board in my head. So anyway, why did I leave this spot open? Well, first of all, like I said, this is the front. They're going to face this direction. So I left this spot open because this is where they're going to be able to start the game up. If you ever have played a map before, you have a start button somewheres and a little room that you spawn in. Well, I'm thinking that it would be pretty cool to have some settings in this game that you're able to set up. So how about we go ahead and let this have settings along with it. So let's go ahead and have a start button in here along with let's see here, let's get a button if I can open it. We're going to place that on there. That's going to be our start button, and maybe we should mark it with a sign. We're going to go ahead and have a sign up here that says start. I don't have color, I don't have the section sign, so I'm not able to add color, but if you want to make that white. Actually, wait. I'm able to. I forgot. We have that feature, don't we? Let's see. Where is it? White dye. Right here. Are we not able to dye them anymore? I thought we could. Huh. Well, wait. Can we dye it any other color? Huh. Okay. Anyway. Sorry for spending so much time. But then we can have a settings button, maybe like a game mode. Right here we can have a game mode button, which will set the game mode. Let's first have it set to easy. There we go. So we have easy, and then you press the button and it will change to hard. I think that's pretty simple. Maybe easy is something else. Wait, let's think. I completely forgot. We're making a snake map here. So think about what you can add to a snake map to make it a little bit better. So game modes. I've played the snake online. Maybe we can have a normal game mode, and then let's capitalize that. Normal. So it starts out normal, you press the button, and maybe it goes to double. Maybe there's a fruit or maybe there's 2 fruits on the playing field instead. That would be pretty cool. And let's go ahead and add some lights back here. I think it would look pretty cool to do some glowstone back here or something along those lines. Yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. Let's get it down here. Yeah, I think that looks really nice. I like it. Yeah. So, anyway, you have your 2 buttons to set the game mode and to start it. So, now that we have a good setup for the spawn, we're going to need to start prepping it for a game. So, now we have to start thinking what these buttons will do. Well, when you start, I'm going to first need to test the game mode. So I need to make sure that is a feature, because you always want to make things easier on you for the future. So we're not going to do much commands or gameplay in today's video. We're just going to be focused more on the game board and everything. But you do want to think the setup of it. So yeah, when we press the start button, we need to make sure to test for the game mode. Then we want to teleport the player from here up to the game board. So actually, let's go ahead and start working on the game board. Okay, now we have our game board finished. Now I know this is pretty confusing. We just made 3 things and set up a few things, and it's all confusing probably. I'm sorry, guys. So this was the last thing. Now I'll explain myself a little bit better, and maybe I shouldn't do this and explain everything at the end of the video. But we just set up everything we wanted. I had this idea in my head, and I started executing it so that I can work on the map. So I just came up with like an idea where I want the snake to be, and I actually found this on a post on Reddit. I want the snake to be heads. This would be really cool, just have these armor stands in the ground. Now these blocks wouldn't be deleted, but you can use the armor stands to... Let's remove that one. I don't want to go through all the phases. But you can use the armor stands to make it look like a snake. So now you have like an ender dragon head, and that can be the head of the snake, and that could be the body of the snake, and that body will extend with heads. And that would be really cool. So I just came up with an idea there. So that's all I want you guys to do. So this is just the setup. I'm not actually going to do any gameplay in today's video, but I just wanted to show you the setup. So I just came up with that nice idea, and maybe I even came up with the idea that you can take these borders and maybe have a setting over at the spawn that says, are the borders safe to go through? Like some Snake games allow you to go through the border and then you come out on this side and start facing this way, or are they dangerous? You hit them and you die. We're gonna have that setting at the spawn. That would be great. As you can see, I'm coming up with all these ideas. All this is the setup. And this doesn't mean that you guys have to follow exactly what I'm doing. I'm just showing you guys how to make a map. So if you guys are making an adventure map, you might not want a board like this in your adventure map, and you might not want a spawn. Maybe you want them to get right into the action. That's all up to you. And that's all preference. I have a command block chunk, and I highly recommend it. The only things that I really recommend are you should always have a command block chunk. One chunk, not so many. Don't scatter them around because you don't want it to look like popcorn everywhere and just look like a plain out mess, because it's going to get confusing and it might even lag your world, and you don't want that. Then you always want some sort of start. It doesn't have to be a starting room like that, but you should at least have some sort of start, like where the player starts, gets a good idea of what he's doing. Text on the screen would help. Anything. So if you're making an adventure map, PvP map, skyblock map, anything, this is just to you. I'm just helping you guys out. I'm making a snake map. I think this would be a great little mini game that you can play, and I think it would be great. And I hope this series actually succeeds, and I hope you guys enjoy watching me make a map and figuring out how someone like me in an advanced level of command blocks makes their maps. Now, I'm not using any behaviors. Do I recommend behaviors? Yes. But am I using behaviors? No, because I'm a command block channel. I might move on to behaviors later on, but I don't know much about behaviors yet. Am I learning? Yes, I kind of have to for the marketplace. Because every map uses them. I've said so much. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this helped you set up your world and set up a nice little map. Next video, I'll teach you the command blocks. And how many times have I said Just add a counter in the top right. Am I right? Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really appreciate all your guys' support. Hit that subscribe button and hit that like button. So, also go see that Discord. No, nobody's on it. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for watching the video. That's it, and bye.